Wagwan, my people. Yes, I'm back and I'm in a better mood because United won today. Convincing victory, shaky first half from United. In the end, we went on and had a convincing victory. Puts Manchester United up into fifth place in the table. And boy, how the season is going at the moment, anything goes. But for Man United, it's about consistency. Next game is against Bournemouth. But the first half, like I said, was a bit shaky, but the second half was much more clean. There's been a lot of talk about the formation. Does it work? Is Amarin going to work? And for me, I've stuck by the manager. I've stuck by the system. I firmly believe in the system. I believe Man United, it's all about the quality. And in little parts in the second half, you can just see, yes, Wolves, we know they haven't won a game all season, but in context, City only beat them 2-1, Chelsea beat them 3-0, and they play against Arsenal this weekend. So, yes, it's still a Premier League team, but you can see elements in that second half, the football with Mason Mount, especially man of the match, just how you're able to implement all them attacking qualities in that position when you got the 2-10s, the wing backs with Ahmad in there, then you got the quality of Bruno, and then the Cunha or Mount, whoever's up front. You've got that, 5-6 players that with good attacking quality that when they're playing together and when they're on song, they can be devastating for teams. I think Manchester United had 27 shots in this game today, and hey, they could have scored so many more goals. And I think that's the kind of the problem what we see with Manchester United now is like, can they have that cutting edge? Can they, the players that they got, we know Cunha can score, we know Mbeumo can score, we know the likes of Mount is Premier League proven, Bruno can score. So it's about this consistency, getting these players scoring week in, week out. And for Man United, big up Eris, big up my boy back in the building. Love for shutting the door as well, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Also, make sure you are following all these socials. You know what time of year is. You know what we've got coming out. So get a step ahead of the game and make sure you're following us all on all our socials. But yes, again, for Man United, again, good second half. You see that the play with, when I'm saying that these attacking players, when they're on song, Man United can be very, very devastating. Defensively, shaky. For me, yes, let's go. Big up my boy, let's go, man. But yeah, for me, Man United is very shaky. De Ligt is clearly our best defender. Martinez is our best defender beside De Ligt. Having Martinez back in that defense gives Manchester United some confidence. But like I said, there's a bit questionable of Haven in the centre back today. First half was a bit shaky, was more sturdy in the second half. Euro didn't start, came on, done all right, but still 30s in that defensive area for Manchester United. And Bournemouth again on the weekend. That's going to be a big game for Manchester United. It's going to be a game where if they want to go on and consolidate themselves in these European positions and have a good fight at who knows what, maybe a title challenge, then the games against Bournemouth is going to be really, really important. I may not have been inconsistent all season. So the game against Bournemouth is going to be testament to Manchester United because we all know African Cup of Nations starts in a couple of weeks. And Bremo and Ahmad, Mazraoui, all gone. Kobe came on today, got a few minutes, looked a bit tidy, and I do think, again, over the course, he's going to get more minutes into that game. But it's going to be a big question for Man United. Wolves, where do they go from here? They're literally on course to have the worst Premier League record. I think they're going to beat Derby's record. I think Derby only got 3 points that season. I think it was back in like 2003 or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But Wolves absolutely shambles. Even when you look at the team, I don't see one player of quality, maybe the striker. It'd be interesting as well with the January transfer window coming up if he maybe leave, because I think Wolves' position is kind of consolidated right now. So I think if Wolves get a decent offer for him, Newcastle did bid for him. Stan Larson, the striker, he's a decent striker. Got something about him. I think with a bit more quality and a bit more service, he can be a good product for any team. So for Wolves, it's going to be an interesting one. For them. For me, like I said, I feel the sixth field. But back to the Manchester United, good win. Like I said, it's all about the consistency. The game against Bournemouth is going to see about where they are again. Man United got opportunity to make a statement in the Premier League against Bournemouth and so consolidate themselves as someone taking them seriously. And we're going to see how it goes because they need a victory, especially with Ahmad and Mbeumo going very, very soon. But hey, enough about my boys Manchester United. Let's talk about the games that happened on the weekend. Bruv, What happened to the boys Arsenal? Shaky. I can't lie. Was it? I think last show or the show before, I can't lie. I felt into the Arsenal trap. Like I was thinking, do you know what? It might actually be their year. They've actually signed a bit of quality. They've been there and thereabouts. They look like they might be running away with it. They're just typical. Same time of year, same story. And for Arsenal over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if it's strange because we can say burnout, but Arsenal haven't had a explosive start to the season where they've been blowing away teams. I think their start of the season has been quite stop-start as it is. So this game again today, I don't know, when we talk about the squad, yes, we know they've had a few injuries. Obviously, Odegaard came back into the game yesterday. Noni's back from injury. I think they're still waiting on the likes of Havertz. Gaio came on as well. But it's just like I said, I said this on my reaction on TikTok, is that when you look at Arsenal, when you not even look at Arsenal, when you look at a team that you expect to win the league, I think over the first 10, 15 games, you look at a team and you're like, yeah, this team, this player, he's going to be nominee for player of the season. They're scary. They might have a little wobble, but they're going to go on and just destroy the league. But with Arsenal, I just don't really get that feeling. I rate Saka as a player, but I don't rate him to the heights as people think that he is. For me, as a winger, anyone that knows me, I love my tricky wingers. I love a step over. I love someone that can just do something different. And for Saka, his inside, outside, it can be effective at times, but it's not really my flavor. And I do think if you're going to be that high echelons and have that status of being a player that's going to do something out of nothing, you kind of have to have that in you. And for me, I think that's what we're getting here with Saka. Gaio, Gokres. Hey, boy, don't even get me started about Gokres. Gokres is a floppers, and that before I get onto Gokres, like I was saying about Saka, it's like with Saka, it's like for me, you have to be the top star. You have to be doing something special. And for me, you're not really getting it back there with Saka. And when you look at the likes of Gokres as well, I think Arsenal are missing Havertz more than they thought they would. I think maybe with the likes of Gaio coming in with this amazing record that he was supposed to have, I think maybe the Arsenal fans probably thought, okay, Havertz being injured might not be that bad. But boy, it's looking like when, I don't know, his touch is quite heavy. He doesn't seem to have, that creativity like in the Premier League. I think Harry Kane set that standard for that striker, that if you can't create something, when you go deep, when you get on that ball, that you're going to make something happen for yourself. You're going to get that ball out to the winger. You're going to make that run, get inside, or you're going to pick up the ball, take on 2-3 players and score yourself. And I don't think Gaia quite has that in him. And I think the quality of the Premier League, the physicality of the Premier League has maybe been a step too far for him. And the problem with him maybe is the issue that he needs to adjust in the Arsenal team and learn about the league a bit more, even though he did have a stint at Brighton and was at Coventry before he made his move to, bear in mind it was in the Championship, before he went to Sporting Lisbon and done the amazing things that he'd done over there. But since he's come back into the Premier League, I feel like with Arsenal fans, there was expecting a ready-made machine. But we can see even with the likes of Isak smashing it in the league at Newcastle, going to the likes of Liverpool, struggling. So not just the transfer of moving from a different country, but maybe the pressures of being at a club like Arsenal, where he is expected to be the top goal scorer, he's expected to be that match winner, and maybe that's having a toll on him and not having that desiring effect. But for Emery and Aston Villa, they are on an amazing run. I think that now is 7 Premier League wins on the bounce. And it's interesting when it comes to Aston Villa and Emery, is they had such a shaky start to the season. And even when you looked at their transfer window, I think they only signed 2 attacking players. I think they only made 3 signings overall, 4. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they really didn't make the signings that you would expect Emery, a manager, to make, considering his ambitions. And obviously Aston Villa being in the Europa League, with the Europa League specialist, you would have thought that they would have went all guns blazing and actually improved that squad. And the start of the season, some was thinking that, hey, this might have an effect on them. But now Emery is looking like he's shining. He's been creeping slowly. Now he is comfortably sitting 3rd in the league. 7 wins on the bounce. great win against his former club, Arsenal. And I even saw something from Troops online. He said something about if Arsenal still had Emery and they invested the money that they invested in Arteta and gave him the time, that he would have won a league. What do you Arsenal fans think about that? My opinion on that is I believe that. I believe Emery is a better manager than Arteta. He's proven it on many, many occasions. I think when you have that ability of winning trophies, doesn't matter what trophy it is, especially when it comes to a European trophy, and you have that knack and that know-how of getting over the line, especially someone like Emery that's done it 2-3 times, I think that's a special quality in itself as a manager. And I feel like a manager like that always needs to be backed, always needs to be given time. And I feel like Arsenal maybe have missed a trick when it came to Emery and his position at Arsenal at the time. Arsenal fans may beg to differ, but since he's left and he's obviously gone on and done amazing work, and at Aston Villa, he looks like he is doing the job there as well. So disappointing for Arsenal, disappointing defeat for them. They need to bounce back. For me, I feel like Arsenal just don't have the minerals to go on and win that title. But I can't even say they can go in the transfer window and try and sign a player. I feel like this is absolutely massive for Arsenal when you actually think about it. With the money that they spent in the summer, with the quality that they have in that squad, if they don't get over the line this year, it is going to be some big questions asked about Arteta and Arsenal, because will they trust him to go again in the market to sign players? Obviously, I don't think that they're just going to sack him, but it's really going to be hard for Arsenal to actually bounce back this season if they really don't pick up a trophy. They need something, even if it's a Carabao Cup. But I don't know. It's a difficult one when it comes to Arsenal. Let us know what you guys think in terms of what do Arsenal need if Arteta doesn't win that trophy. What do you guys think is going to happen to him, and where do Arsenal go? Do they go and spend again? Do they have enough? Do you think they have enough? Do you think they should have spent the money correctly? Do you think that Arteta needs to go? Let us know. Moving on. Chelsea versus Bournemouth. Again, Chelsea. Yeah? It's looking shaky, buddy. Yeah? It's looking shaky over there. I did say one of the main things when it comes to Chelsea, I have said it over and over and over and over and over again, is the key word consistency. And some people told me, I have the cheek to say this as a Manchester United fan. No, you're missing the point. The point that I'm trying to make again is when you have a group of young players, it doesn't even matter. When you have a young player in your team, the main attribute or the main thing that you see in a young player is inconsistency. They're going to have good games. They're going to have bad games. So when you have a group of young players, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get up and down road. And this is exactly what Chelsea are experiencing. And with a 0-0 draw, I think that's what, I think that's 2 draws now on the bounce now for Chelsea in the league. Had a real opportunity to really go and set the pace and actually be real title challengers. But hey, this may be a step too far for them, maybe for the club as well. Their main objective is just to be consistently into the Champions League. Who knows? Are the fans happy with that? But for me, I thought Chelsea, they're going to come to loggerheads. I feel like the ownership and the Chelsea fans, I think they've been there before. I think the fans now, they're kind of like giving the owners a bit of time, obviously with the fact that they've won a Club World Cup and a Europa League. But I do not think these Chelsea fans will stay quiet for much longer. If this form continues, if Chelsea don't manage to win a trophy this season, I do think they're going to be major questions asked. Yes, if they have a sustained Premier League title challenge, then hey, that might cover over some cracks. But this model will start to be questions every time Chelsea go a seasonless trophy. The owners might be happy with the Champions League money, with the income coming in and the sale of this model of the players that they got coming in and the young players that they will sell to make profit. But we all know now with the PSR rules now changing and clubs allowed to spend more money, this is going to be interesting in terms of how Chelsea's model is affected and how, if it's going to benefit them or hinder them in the market moving forward, considering now clubs will have more options, considering when it comes to transfers. But I'll give a little shout out to the boy, Estavio. completed 5 dribbles in the game. He's really starting to feel comfortable in the Premier League. Obviously, like I said, it's going to be young in the terms of can all that pressure on him be on him at Chelsea? Is it fair for all that pressure to be on him to be that match winner, to be that one that's leading Chelsea? And that's the problem. Like I said, when you have a group of young players, sometimes you need that old head that's going to guide them through. That old head's going to steer them the right way. And maybe that's what Chelsea need right now. Will they go and sign that in the January shadow? I highly doubt it. I think this model is Chelsea's model, and they're going to continue how they are, considering that they are in the European spots. But hey, Chelsea fans, let us know what you think. Are you happy with how things are going? Would you just be happy to qualify for the Champions League? Do you think that this model is still going to work? Because in next summer, do you see yourself fixing problems that we all know that you need in terms of having more experience in that team? Or do you think that this model is for you and you feel that you can actually go on and win major trophies with this model of the young players coming in and being a mainstay in that Chelsea team? But moving on, Manchester City versus Sunderland. 3-0 win, comfortable, not the rocky game that we saw from City last week against Fulham. Nice, comfortable victory for Manchester City. And I did say, and I will say it again, Manchester City are the team to watch when it comes to winning this Premier League title. They have the experience with Pep Guardiola. The team really, certain players are really looking to start to get comfortable, especially when you look at the likes of Phil Foden, absolutely stepping up in that Manchester City shirt. And this is when it comes to winning the title, this is what I'm talking about when you're looking at a team. When you look at a team, Manchester City, you can look at someone like Haaland and say, yeah, this guy's a world-class striker. He's going to be put in a conversation for player of the season, golden boots. You look at the likes of Foden, previous young player of the year. We know the quality that he has and the experience. So, and then you look at the manager. So when you look at a team like City and you look at what the quality that they have, the experience that they have, and what they're currently displaying, you'll be a fool not to suggest that they are. I think right now they have to be the favourites to win the title. I think that with Arsenal's defeat on the weekend, I think City now are in the charging seat. They still have to play Arsenal. I think they have the better squad, they have the better players. And yes, we know City are shaky defensively, but who in the league right now has got a defence to shout about? Yes, Arsenal did have an amazing record without conceding a goal for how many games it was when they had Saliba and Gabriel. But as you can see, when them two guys are gone, there's some big issues at the back line. Chelsea got big injuries at the back line. Manchester United got injuries just coming back. Konate is not doing well for Liverpool. So when it comes to the centre-backs right now, it's not really the best of conversations, but you need someone at the other end of the pitch when you've got the likes of Haaland, who's going to be your top goal scorer and slapping in many goals. It gives you perfect opportunity to go on and win the title. So I think that's going to be the difference between Arsenal and Manchester City when it comes to this title race. Whoever else is going to step up, who knows? City are still vulnerable, but I think after the, because I don't even think Manchester City have anyone to worry about going to the African Cup of Nations. So I think that's going to be a bonus for them. Their star players are going to stay there. So no big effects on Manchester City in regards to that situation. Big shout out to Chris Riggs, again, Sunderland, youngster, 18 years old, completed captained his side. Oh, achievement for him again in that game. Got 91% pass completion. A young player really touted in over the last couple of years. Manchester United been looking at him. Liverpool have been looking at him. Arsenal been looking at him. He's been doing really well this season, and it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, Sunderland are doing really well this season, so I don't expect him to go anywhere in the January transfer window. But it's going to be interesting to see where Sunderland finish and Chris Riggs is potential transfer in the future. But he's definitely a player to look out for. So moving on, we move on to Liverpool versus Leeds 3-3. Liverpool still in the gutter. We saw that explosive interview by post-match interview by Mo Salah. I did say, and I have to confirm it, Slot has lost the dressing room. I do think the board are trying their best to salvage the situation. When you have got one of your best players coming out, one of your highest paid players your golden star, your fan favorite, coming out and speaking like that is very, very damaging to the club, very, very damaging to the brand. He's missed out the next game. He will not travel to the game in the Champions League against Inter Milan. But Liverpool have some big, big questions to answer, some big conundrums. Everyone's talking about is Mo Salah being made a scapegoat? And it was interesting to say, I heard John Terry say something about this as well. And I think that resonated with me when it came to the fact that there's a lot of players that's not performing in this Liverpool team. And when you got the quality and you got someone with the experience of what it done for the club like Mo Salah, yes, he has not been playing particularly well. But why is he being the one that's being picked on that has to go on the bench? I don't think Isak has been playing particularly well. Yes, he's a new signing. Yes, you spent a lot of money on him. And he has started to pick up a little bit of form over the last couple of games, but nothing amazing. I think Gakpo hasn't been amazing. I know he scored a few goals this season. Ekitike has probably been a shining light for them. But over the course, I don't think anyone who's come in and played ahead of Salah has actually made a claim to say that they should be starting over him. And I feel, like I said, I have said before, when it comes to the Jota situation, may soul rest in peace. I do believe that that's had a major effect on Liverpool and Salah, and I do think Slot has maybe not quite handled that situation correctly, which had a big effect on their team. And I do think Salah is a big mainstay in the team in terms of his relationship with the players. And I do think with the manager making a stand like that, maybe some of the players will also feel like, what's the manager doing? Like, we need Salah. And I do honestly feel that Slot has lost the dressing room and the Liverpool hierarchy are in deep, deep waters, because I don't think that they have planned for this type of scenario. And I do think they're in a position where they don't just want to sack Slot straight away without having a real confirmed plan. So they are going to give it time, but I do think Liverpool will now start going and looking and starting giving themselves options about potential managers that might start coming into the club. And don't be shocked if results do continue. Rumors will start coming out that Liverpool are looking for a new manager, and Slot could be getting sacked very, very soon, because there's something wrong going over there. You can't be 3-1 up and then going and then losing the game, not losing, drawing the game 3-3. Yes, Leeds have been going on a run of recent, but it's just been a consistency of form. Obviously, I think the result has been heightened to the fact that Mo Salah came out and said what he said. It's going to be interesting how the players react against Inter Milan in the game in the Champions League. But I think he's gone. I think within the next 5 games, I think Slot will be sacked. I do believe Liverpool, if not, have started already looking at who they might want to be getting in, because when you got your highest paid player coming out like that, not happy at the club, it's going to have a major effect on everyone. And Liverpool can't continue like that. And I think the only player power still exists, no matter how much we want to, we don't like it, and it can be a problem in the game. I do think in this situation, Liverpool can't continue with Salah out of the squad. And I think if the relationship has broken down with Slot and Salah, I think Slot is going to be the one that is going to pay the heavy price for that. So let us know what you think. Do you think that he's going to get sacked? Do you think that he's going to stay? Who do you think Liverpool should get in next? But yeah, before we round up the show, guys, we're going to got a few more games in. And also as well today, FA Cup 3rd round draw came out today. Man United got Brighton at home. I think who else did the people get? Oh, it's gone off my head. No, Arsenal got Bournemouth and Portsmouth. I think Manchester City got Exeter. Chelsea got Chow and a few more. But yeah, 3rd round draws out today. Go check that out. Go see who your club has drawn for the 3rd round of the FA Cup. We all love a bit of the FA Cup. Yes, Newcastle 2-1 win against Brentford. It looks like Newcastle are starting to get a little bit of momentum now, and slowly calling themselves back into the table after a little bit of stop-start. Obviously, we know that they've been going well in the Champions League, so that's going to be a good bonus for them. Tonali looking a real threat there in the midfield for Newcastle, and yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Newcastle have an impact in terms of the European spots, especially now sort of getting very congested in there. I think there's only 9 points between eighth and third. So it's going to be interesting to see who stays consistent and who falls off. Spurs 2-0 a win against Brent. No, yeah, I think I got that the wrong way around. But yeah, Spurs 2-0 win against Brentford. Thomas Frank getting over the line, not convincing performance. Spurs is obviously about the consistency again when it comes to Thomas Frank, but that'll be a good win to boost his confidence. West Ham, sorry, my voice is gone. Everton beat Nottingham Forest 3-0. Yeah, and around up 1 second. Yeah, sorry. This thing is clicked on my phone. Sorry, it's got cool. Yes, Everton 3-0 win against Brentford. Brentford against Nottingham Forest, and there we go. Brighton 1-1 against West Ham, and Crystal Palace 2-1 win against Fulham. Good win for Crystal Palace, keeping themselves in the top 4. We heard some rumors about one of their players getting arrested over the course of the weekend, so it was good for them to keep themselves winning. Didn't let that affect them. Yes, sorry, Newcastle won 2-1 against Burnley. Yes, sorry about that. Yes, people. So that was the roundup of game week 15. The season is really starting to heat up. Champions League again this week, and then we go for next round, game week 16. Game week 16. The games are really going to be hotting up. Sorry, lost my voice. United's catching up to me now. But yes, thank you guys for locking in. Don't forget, follow all our socials. It's right there locked in. We've got something big coming for you guys. So you want to be one step ahead following the socials. Don't forget as well to hit the notification bell when we release a video. Yes, we've got my journey coming on Friday morning. Yeah, little Friday morning show for you guys where you're going to school or you're going to work 8 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you're up bright and early for that one. Going to be giving you guys some gems if you want to make it from grassroots to pro. Then I got what you need to know. Let's go, buddy. Hope you guys enjoy your evening. See you guys soon.